Hello and welcome to the Autopilot Controls New Features video. This video will review all of the new features that will be available in our August 2011 release. Now please keep in mind that as you watch this video you can pause it, replay, or fast forward to any section that you'd like to have that information displayed for you again. Please remember to review the entire contents of the video to get the most from all of your new features in the new ProfitPilot release. Please also keep in mind that full documentation on each of these features will be available from our website at www.autopilotcontrols.com. Thank you, and now we will begin. This video will review the new features that are available in the ProfitPilot. This video will review the new point-of-sale user interface, the new cash management module, barcode printing, the user security settings, the period comparison report, how to sort timesheets by a last name, as well as the newly updated line item sales report. We'll begin with the new point-of-sale graphical user interface. This section will include the quick cash keys, as well as the clear button and the new license plate entry window. You'll see on your screen an example of the existing point-of-sale screen. You should be very familiar with this. You're probably used to seeing it on a daily basis. This is the screen that you see now. Once the upgrade to your new August release is complete, this is an example of the screen that you will be seeing. Please note that the screen design is almost identical to the old screen, but the graphical user interface has actually been updated, so it looks very different, but operation and the use of the screen is almost identical. Some of the things that we're going to cover in this video today that are different on the new screen would be the license plate search button. We'll also cover the clear button. We'll cover the new quick cash keys. And we'll also go over the fact that you have a new row of sales buttons at the very, very bottom of your screen. The quick cash keys are new in this release. To use a quick cash key, the cashier simply sells the item that they are going to sell just like they did before. You'll see that item displayed in the items list at the top of the screen. But now, instead of being handed, for example, a $20 bill where the cashier previously would need to enter 2000, enter, and cash, instead of all of those steps, now all the cashier simply has to do is touch the $20 quick cash button. By entering this button, $20 cash will be entered into the point of sale, and you'll see the Pay with Cash screen will then be displayed. This is the total amount of your transaction. This is the amount of $20 that was tendered. If there is any change due, you'll see that amount displayed in change due. The cashier can then press OK to complete the transaction and finish it, give the customer their cash, and be done with this transaction. The quick cash keys are really designed to speed up the sales transaction and eliminate the number of keystrokes required for the cashier. The quick cash buttons are set up in the back office software. So you'll see that we're going to switch our screen here to the back office software. So what you'll do is you'll log into your ProfitPilot.net and you'll go to the Setup tab, and then from Setup on the left-hand side of the screen you're going to choose POS buttons. This is where you'll see the ability to manage your quick cash and your quick key buttons. The quick cash buttons, you'll see fields, 4 button value fields. It's in these fields that you want to enter the denominations or the amount of currency that you want to have displayed on your quick cash buttons. You can go up to $999, and these button values do not have to be a specific denomination. For example, they don't have to be $5, $10. You'll see in the example here that your denomination, your button values can be any amount of cash that you would like to have on your quick cash buttons. As you enter the button value, it will automatically be saved in the system. You do not have to click any other buttons to save this information. Underneath the quick cash buttons, you'll see you're able to manage the quick key buttons. There is a field for settings. When you click on settings, you're able to set the text that will be displayed in your menu button, as well as change the color of the different tabs in your system. Please note that you do now have a new entire row of sales buttons. Previously you only had 4 rows of buttons. In the new release you will now have a 5th row of buttons. You can, as you did before, place any merchandise, promotion, or wash package to be sold on that 5th row of buttons. We'll now discuss the clear button that's on the point of sale. The clear button is located on the point of sale in between the up and down arrow key. In previous versions of the ProfitPilot, whenever a cashier sold an item, if it was a mistake and tender had not been taken, the cashier was required to go to Selling Functions and process a line item void to clear this item out. You now have a clear button, and if the cashier does make a mistake and they sell an item accidentally, or a customer were to change their mind, you can simply highlight the item from the list and press the clear button, and it will clear it out of the transaction without having to do a line item void. This enables you to set your security permissions for each cashier correctly, so you don't necessarily have to give all cashiers void functions. This is a new feature in the new version, and we hope you certainly take advantage of it. We'll now talk about the new license plate entry screen. This screen allows you to quickly enter license plate numbers, but you can also enter additional information in addition to the license plate numbers. We'll also review how certain customers out there are using the customer number to enter license plate numbers, and after this new version is released, we do not want you, or we certainly don't recommend that you do that any longer. The new license plate entry window is accessed by clicking the License Search button on the left-hand side of your screen. So on your new point of sale screen, simply click License Search, and this will display that window. When the window is displayed, the cashier can use the on-screen keypad to enter the customer's license plate number. As the license plate number is entered, the system will automatically search and drill down and look for that license plate number. If the license plate number is not in the system, you'll see the Add button made available so that this number can be added to the system. If the cashier makes a mistake while entering the license plate number, they can use the Clear Input, or they can use the Cancel button. Once the license plate number is entered into the window, simply click Add, and it will be then added to that transaction. If the license plate number was already in the system, so as the cashier starts to enter it, the system will drill down and it will find the existing license plate number. The cashier does not have to continue entering the number. They can simply highlight the number that was found and click the Select button, as this button will become available if the plate number is already in the system. In addition to the vehicle license plate number, some customers may find it useful to also enter the contact name, the company name, or the customer number. Any of those fields can be selected from this window. By simply touching on the name of the field, you'll see that it will turn red, just like the vehicle is turned red here. Once it turns red, that is the field that you are then searching on from that point forward. By default, this window will automatically search by vehicle number. Once the vehicle information has been attached to the transaction, you can still go and enter more specific detailed information about that customer. For those of you who are already doing this, these steps have not changed. The only thing that has changed is actually entering the license plate number very quickly directly from the main POS tab. If you would like to enter your customer's information, such as address, city, state, or even capture an email address, simply click on the Customers tab. Because you've already added that customer to the transaction, their information will automatically be displayed, and you can use the fields to the left as well as the arrow keys to navigate to enter the additional information. If you do choose to enter more information, make sure and press the Save and Return to List button. If you do not press this button, any changes that you added will be lost. Please note that it is optional to enter additional information. You can simply collect a license plate number and no further information. The choice is really yours. On the Customers tab, when searching for customer information, in previous versions of the ProfitPilot, the vehicle number field was blank and it did not work for searching. In the new version, this field has been made active and now is available for searching. Many of you were previously entering license plate numbers in the customer number field. This is no longer necessary. You can now simply use the vehicle field to enter your license plate numbers and use the quick entry license search to enter those numbers instead of having to navigate through the Customers tab. To search by vehicle number, simply press on Vehicle from the Customers tab and begin typing, and you will automatically see a list of all vehicle numbers that are available. As we mentioned earlier, the customer number field, many of you have been using to enter the license plate number. This is no longer necessary. You can simply enter it from the vehicle number field that is now provided. The new version of ProfitPilot also enables you to have multiple vehicles attached to one customer record. If you were to search on either of these vehicle numbers, you would find that they would simply point back to exactly the same customer. Should you update a vehicle information, be sure to press the Update Vehicle button, and that will update simply just the vehicle information. But again, now when you search in the vehicle field, if you have multiple vehicles attached to one customer record, they are now all linked together. We'll now review the new Cash Management module. This is a brand new module in the ProfitPilot. It does enable end-of-day reconciliation. It allows your cashier to enter their totals from the point of sale or from the back office software, and those total amounts can now be saved for historical reporting. A manager can also verify the cashier's totals and view any open and closed sessions. If you do have HTK automated pay stations at your facility, a session is created for those as well so that you can manage your cash from your pay stations from the new Cash Management module. We'll start with the point of sale. When the cashier is done selling for the day, they'll simply click the Miscellaneous tab and choose Log Off Cashier. This will log off their selling session from the point of sale. Previously in the ProfitPilot, no additional message would be displayed, but now when the cashier logs out, a new message will be displayed that asks them if they want to start the cash out procedure. If they do want to enter their cash totals from the point of sale, simply click OK. If they do not want to enter their cash totals, they can hit Cancel and skip this step. The difference would be your own internal facility's cash management procedures. If you want your cashier to count their cash at the point of sale terminal and enter the totals they have in the drawer, then you would of course click the OK button. If you do not want your cashiers counting cash at the point of sale, and for example, you might have them turn their cash into the back office room where the safe is and have the drawer counted in the back room, then you would just simply click Cancel from this window. We'll go ahead and take the first scenario where if the cashier does want to enter their cash out totals, they'll simply press the OK button. If you press the OK button, the cashier will then see the Cashier Cash Out dialog box, and from here they can enter their cash totals. Please note that amounts entered in these fields are the actual counts of how many of each item is in the till. For example, if the cashier counted 50 pennies, they would put a 50 into this field. If the cashier, for example, had two $50 bills or $100 in 50s in their drawer, they would enter a 2 in this field and not 100. The system will then automatically calculate the amount of denominations that are entered and provide a total. When the cashier presses the Cash Out button, a slip will print from the receipt printer that will summarize all cash totals. These cash totals will then automatically be transferred to the back office software for manager verification. We'll connect now to the back office software. So at the end of the day or the end of a selling shift, a manager can now verify those cash totals. If the cashier opted to not enter their totals from the point of sale, a manager may also enter those totals from here in the back office software. Once you log into your back office software, you'll have a new tab called Cash Management. This tab was not previously available. Simply click on the Cash Management tab and you'll see a list of all available sessions. If you have HTK pay stations, you will also see a line for those sessions as well. Over on the right-hand side in the status field, an active status means that the point of sale is still actively logged in and selling. You will not be able to cash it out until that cashier has actually logged out. A session that has been logged out can be edited and totals can be entered. To edit the totals from a logged out session, simply click the Edit button on the far right. Once the Edit button is clicked, the cashier session will automatically be opened in a new window. You'll see many fields in this window which all help tie all of the cash at the facility back to a total deposit amount, and the system will automatically calculate over short amounts for how much cash you should have had the cashier turn in. We'll go over each of these individual fields and what they mean. The cash field is the total amount of cash that should be in the drawer. This is the system count that the system has generated based on sales that have been input at the point of sale. When the cashier initially logged in to the point of sale, they were prompted to enter an opening drawer amount. If they entered an opening amount, you'll see this amount of cash displayed here in the open amount field. The denominations here will tie directly to the point of sale. So if a cashier entered their currency totals at the point of sale, these fields will automatically be populated with the information the cashier entered. If these fields are blank, you can simply enter the denomination counts, and based on the information entered here, you'll see a total denomination count automatically calculated by the system. The amount turned in field is for you to enter the actual amount of cash that the cashier turned in. Once the amount is entered in this field, the system will then generate an overshort amount for how much cash was actually turned in. The cash deposit total is the amount of cash less the opening drawer amount. That is entered in this field here, and once entered, you'll see an overshort amount entered for your deposit. We assume that your bank deposit is the amount of cash that was taken in during the sales session less the cashier's opening drawer amount. If you do find that you have any discrepancies in cash, you can simply enter a note in the overshort notes for future reference. Should you ever have to go back and take a look at it again, you do have a notes field here. As you scroll down further in this window, you will also see fields for credit cards, checks, coupons, custom tender amounts, and house accounts. Now, based on your sales transaction history, you may or may not have totals in each of these areas. Credit cards are generally not cashed out, as the system automatically keeps a credit card total. If you do find that you have discrepancies in your credit card totals, you do have a notes field for that tender type as well. Checks, you will see all checks listed as with a corresponding document number. That would be the check number that was captured at the point of sale by your cashier, so that you can verify that the check count is correct. You will also see a list of all of the coupons that were accepted during the cashier sales session. Coupon totals do not affect your total cash total, but if you'd like to reconcile to make sure all coupons were actually collected correctly, you can certainly do so here, but again, it will not affect your cash total. Custom tender amount is a future enhancement to the system where you will be able to define custom tender amounts. For now, it is simply a field where if you need to enter information in this field, you are able to do that. At the bottom, you will see a summary of all house account transactions posted during the cashier's selling session. This will include the name of the customer for the house account to which a charge was made. Again, notes fields are provided to document any discrepancies in the cashier's session. Once all of the cashier's totals have been entered into the cash management window, simply click Close Cashier Session. You don't want to do this until you're certain that all the cashier's totals are correct and accurate. Once the session is closed, it cannot be reopened. All sales totals are then locked in the system and can never be changed. This is done for security purposes. Once a session is closed, you can still view that session, and you may also print the information from that closed session for reference. Before you can close a cashier session, 2 messages will display that will confirm the action to close the session. As you enter sales totals into the cash management window, they are saved automatically. There is no need to click a Save button to have the total saved. If for any reason you needed to stop entering totals and come back, everything that you had entered will still be saved. Simply reopen the session by clicking the Edit button. Everything remains as it is until the Close Cashier Session button is pressed. Once you have closed cashier sessions, if you'd like to view them again, from the main Cash Management tab, simply click the Show Closed Sessions. This is a toggle button that will then toggle you from open active sessions to sessions that have been closed. Once a session has been closed, you can view the totals, you cannot change them, and you can of course print a closing report. Some notes in the Cash Out module. The point of sale will not auto-recognize a previous session. So if a cashier is logged in the morning and they leave on a lunch break, when that cashier logs out, their session is automatically ended. When the cashier comes back from lunch, they would need to start on a new till with a new opening drawer amount. If a session were to end prematurely, for example, the point of sale lost power in the middle of a sales session, if the same cashier logs back in, that session will automatically be continued. If a different cashier logs in, a new session will begin. On the sessions for the HTK pay stations, a session stays open until the Log Out button is pressed. The Log Out button will be available in the Cash Management screen under the Status field. When you click Log Out, the session for the HTK will be closed, and any dollar denominations will automatically be entered into the Cash Management window. The next transaction on the HTK pay station will automatically begin a new session. Now we'll move on to the receipt barcode. This is a new feature in the ProfitPilot where you can now have a barcode printed at the bottom of your receipts. In order to enable this functionality, you will need to turn it on from the back office software. From your back office software, log into ProfitPilot.net and click the Setup tab. Once you click Setup on the far left side, you want to click the Receipt option. Your receipt options will be displayed. Scroll down to the bottom and there is now a new checkbox called Print Barcode. Simply check the box and click Submit. Once the batch goes down from your back office to your point of sale, you will then see barcodes printed on your receipts. The barcode is a very nice feature because it allows the cashier to simply scan the barcode when processing voids and refunds at the point of sale, instead of entering a full transaction number. The next feature we will discuss is the user security settings. There are a tremendous amount of security settings now available in the new ProfitPilot version. Settings have been moved to the Employees tab, and all settings for the point of sale and the back office are now located in the same place. To access the security settings, previously in versions of ProfitPilot you would click the Setup tab. You no longer do that. Now all security settings are located under the Employees tab. So simply click on Employees. If you already have employees defined in your system, you will see them listed in the window. To modify your employee settings, simply click the wrench or the Edit button. If you wanted to add a new employee to your system, simply click Add Employee from the Actions box. We're going to go ahead and take a look when you edit an existing employee profile. Now inside you will see the point of sale user ID as well as the web user ID. These fields are now located in the same spot, in the same window. To modify the individual permissions for this employee, you want to simply click Edit Employee Security. This will display the new security window. You'll see a security template at the top. Click the drop-down button and choose the security template that best suits this employee. Once you've chosen a template, default settings will automatically be applied. You can, however, override any individual setting by using the list of permissions here. Simply click the drop-down button and choose the permission that you'd like this employee to have. A description of all the permissions are available on the right-hand side. Keep in mind that the higher up in permissions that you go, the employee will have everything before that. So for example, if an employee is allowed to delete, then they are automatically allowed to edit, add, and view in that same setting. There is also a manager approval box. So if you want the employee to be able to access this area, but only with manager approval, simply check the box. When you have modified all of your employee security settings, click Submit at the bottom of the page to save those changes and move on. There is now a new period comparison report available in the ProfitPilot. This report will easily allow you to compare two specific date ranges. Your date range can be a month, a quarter, or a year. To generate the period comparison report, log into the back office software and click on the Reports tab. Choose the period comparison report and specify which department types you want to have included in the report. Specify in the Pick a Date the two date ranges that you would like to view and click View Report. This is a sample of what the new period comparison report looks like. Please note that the information in this report is now more concise. It does include counts and dollars per car on the same report, and this report will now run much faster. Next is the ability to sort a timesheet by the employee's last name. Previous versions of ProfitPilot timesheets were only sorted by the employee ID. To take advantage of this feature, click the Reports tab from the back office software and specify your employee timesheet report. There is now a checkbox, Sort by Employee's Last Name. Simply check this box and then view your report, and your report will automatically be sorted by last name instead of the employee's ID. The line item sales report in the ProfitPilot has also been modified. New information is now available on this report to make end-of-day cash reconciliation even easier. You can also now see transactions that did require a manager's approval. To generate the line item sales report, simply log into the ProfitPilot and choose the Reports tab. Specify the line item sales report and pick the date that you'd like to see this information. Click View Report to see the report on screen. Here's an example of the line item sales report. The fields that are circled are the new fields which are of information which are now available on the report. You can now see the cashier that sold this transaction, the greeter, if entered, that was attached to this transaction, a document number. The document number, if it was a check transaction, will be the check number. If it was a credit card transaction, you will see the last 4 digits of the card number displayed. If it was a ProfitPilot gift card or wash book, you will see the number of the gift card or wash book displayed in the document number field. You will also see the type of transaction, as if this was a sale, a refund, or a void. In previous versions of the line item sales report, voids were not displayed in the report. Voids are now displayed in this report. Any void will have a 0 for the sales total, but you will still be able to see all of the other transaction information, but a 0 in the sales total, so it will not affect the overall totals of the report. If this transaction did require a manager's approval, you will see the name of the manager that approved the transaction. This additional information gives you the tools that you need to balance out at the end of the day so that you have all the information that you need to see what happened in any individual transaction processed at the ProfitPilot. That's the end of our presentation and the end of the summary of all the new features in the ProfitPilot 11.5 release. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any suggestions on how to make it better, please of course don't hesitate to contact us. You can also visit our website at www.autopilotcontrols.com for full documentation on all of the features that you viewed here today. Thank you, and we appreciate your business.